Welcome to day 6 of our 30 Days of Taking Out the Trash challenge. As a reminder, you're going to take your notebook and write 3 pages, front, back, and front, of anything in the whole world. We're just emptying our brain of stuff that was in and needs to come out. And we're going to be clearing the cookies of our mind so that our brains work faster and better. And we're going to feel better and get unplugged. And it's going to be great. This is a free challenge on YouTube. I have the paid version is also a thing where I'm just going to be doing 2 live sessions later on in the challenge. So if you want access to those sessions, the links for that will be below. And today, we're working out of my Facebook group right now. I had this wonderful post that pointed out, I don't know, this woman said, I put myself last in all of my relationships, and so does everybody else. How do I start to put myself first in my life? And this is a really important question. I'm so glad that she asked it. It's a very important concept, and I love that she has caught on to this incredibly important thing. People pick up the energies that we put out. Okay. And when we live our lives in a space where we feel like we are unimportant and we put everybody else first instead of ourselves ever first, other people pick up on that and they can really start to just trample on us. It becomes this kind of victim martyr energy that other people can unintentionally participate in or intentionally participate in, depending on the nature of the person, right? So how do we break out of this cycle of putting ourselves last and then seeing that we're being put last in all of our relationships too? It's one thing to put yourself last in your relationships, but it really hurts a lot more when other people also put you last, especially the people that you are prioritizing over yourself. I think especially as parents and especially as mothers, we see that a lot where we're doing everything, bending over backwards for the husband, for the children, for the in-laws, for our extended family. And then we can sit there and say, okay, wait, but who's bending over backwards for me? And then that's not very fun to sit there and realize wow, maybe the scales are not very balanced here. Maybe things are not very fair. So our friend here definitely realized that she needs to have a shift in her own self where she needs to prioritize her own self. I think there is something extremely healing about it when other people put us first, or when other people prioritize us, and it can heal us in ways that just us prioritizing ourselves, maybe can't. But the number one thing that we can do, we can't force other people to show up for us. We just can't. It can be really healing when they do, but we can't make it happen. The only thing that we can control is if we show up for ourselves. Okay, we have to show up for our own selves. And that is the thing that we can control. So how exactly are we going to do it? Now, in my Facebook group, we had some great comments. One woman said she has asked herself over and over again, do I matter? Do I matter? As she's going about her day, she's saying, okay, do I matter? Am I important? And using that question to kind of reframe and think about everything in a new way, so that she can say, no, I do matter. And I do, my needs do matter. And that helps her kind of reorganize how she's going to spend her time. And we had some great comments about body work and fascia work, and all of our feelings are stored inside of our physical body. So if you're the sort of person that puts yourself last chronically, that can actually be a great way to start putting yourself, if not first, then a little bit more evenly, just taking care of your physical body. Can you go get a massage? Maybe you can't afford a massage. I spent many years completely unable to afford any massages ever. We were struggling to afford food. So I get that. What if you can't afford anything like that? In that case, you can still experience a massage and you can be the one that does it. Or maybe you have some kids, you can talk into rubbing your feet. These days, I keep a bunch of high quality lotions and stuff, my lotions and potions next to my bed. And at night, I've started just putting lotion on my feet and rubbing my own feet every day. Oh, hold on. Yeah, what, honey? Anyway, I try to sit down and just spend 1 or 2 minutes paying attention to my own physical body. I started, putting on lotion before I go to bed. I never was a sort that like moisturized my face before bedtime, but I read a thing about how if you leave a piece of bread out overnight, it will get like hard and crusty, and our skin is the same way. And they're like, you would butter bread to keep it soft, like butter your face to keep it soft, not with real butter. But I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's short and I can do this. With 5 kids and my business and, the various other responsibilities that I have in my own life, it has been very difficult for me to put myself first or even like evenly. And this is something that inspired this 30-day taking out the trash challenge, because I thought I just have to like write it out. I need to write out what's going on here and why I am struggling so hard to find the time and the energy to like take care of myself the way I need to take care of myself. You know, I know that now is the time in my life to develop like really good habits as far as like exercise and eating. And I have not felt up for like committing to that. I'm like, okay, I got to get out of my own way. But it's hard when we have so many people relying on us. And so many different responsibilities. How do we put ourselves first? We just got to find the little ways. We're going to participate in this 30-day challenge. We're going to write 3 pages a day. Can we do it? Can we do it while our kids yap at us and whine for stuff? Like, that's how I'm doing it. I'm doing it. While my kids are saying, Mom, I need a hot dog. And it's okay. We can do it. We can write our sentence and get up and get the hot dog and keep going for another 2 minutes until someone needs something else. We can do it. We can give our own selves that massage, and we can, give ourselves the healing touch that we need in order to start shifting out what's going on in our physical bodies. Um, One thing that came into my mind as I was talking about this is the concept of broadcast signals, which I'll link the class for that below. It's, in my opinion, a great class. It's this idea that all of us have kind of signs above our heads that tell other people how to treat us and how to think about us. And if you've ever sat there and said, like, do I have a sign over my head saying to ignore me? Or like, do I have a sign over my head saying that you should interrupt me? Like, the answer is possibly. You actually may. You may actually have a sign like that over your head. It's invisible to the naked eye, but all of our energy fields are picking it up. Everybody picks up everybody else's signals that we're putting out. And a lot of us do have signals that say, ignore me. I'm not important. Put me last. It's okay to inconvenience me. I don't matter. And if you have that kind of energy broadcasting out to the world, you're going to see the results of that, and people are going to treat you that way. So what do? I teach it in that class, and I'm going to, link that below, but you've got to systematically go through your own broadcast signals and delete the ones that are not serving you and replace them with the ones that do serve you. Okay. So that's going to be a really helpful thing. If people are putting you last in every situation, it's time to revise your broadcast signals and just be sure that you're not contributing to this by what you're putting out. Are you sending out the signals, put me last? I don't matter. It's okay. I won't mind it. It won't hurt my feelings if you ignore me and don't help me out. If you're sending out those kinds of vibes, then maybe it's time to put in some more healthy kind of broadcast signals, like I am important. My opinion matters. Sometimes I need your help. It would be nice if we could be on the same page. If we're putting out more productive signals that are inviting cooperation and more of an equality type of relationship, that's going to be very healing and very helpful. And the nice thing is you work on your energy, and then you see that everybody changes how they interact with you. It's just true. Many people can verify they change their broadcast signals, and all of a sudden their interactions with other people just change. You don't have to force it. You don't have to make people treat you differently. You change the energy that you're giving out, and other people are going to treat you differently. But when we're dealing with broadcast signals, the underlying reason for the broadcast signals is going to be, our own feelings of worth or worthlessness. Do you have a strong sense of your own self-worth or not? And that's a little bit more difficult to really dig into than just, it's easy to put on a moisturizer before bed, or like force yourself to brush your teeth at night, right? Basic hygiene is basic self-care. It is a way of putting yourself first. And, but that stuff can be a lot easier than digging into the real reasons why we might resist that stuff, or why we might feel unworthy to have these more equal relationships. Are we ready to dig into the parts of ourselves that feel unworthy to be put first? Is there a part of you that would feel terrible if people put you first? You know, for me, I've never felt comfortable, being the center of attention or like being the life of the party or something like that. And I don't know, I'm still on this growth journey of becoming okay with it when people, feel very grateful about, what I have done for them, or I don't know. It's hard. This is something that we all have to come to terms with. And years ago, I had a fabulous bishop after my terrible bishop. I had a terrible bishop who yelled at me because of my work. And then I had a fabulous bishop who saw that we had a lady in the ward who was really struggling, and she had 17 multiple personalities. And then overnight, uh, her personalities integrated after a session with me. And that bishop was like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible. What do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, you better watch out." You want to hear what I do? Okay. Buckle up. But anyway, the point is that he was telling me how he was struggling with you know, he struggled with it when people were very grateful for the work that he did as the bishop. And he just, that inner part of us that is so humble, that's like, no, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. And as we talked about this, I thought, I think God is the ultimate in humility, and God receives praises every day, and he's cool with it. Like, if part of our job is to become more like God, we have to become okay with receiving praise, and with having our word taken seriously. And we have to be okay with being the kinds of people that other people adore. Like, that's part of our journey to being more like our creator. Okay, we have to be cool with praise and adoration and love and care, and having people care about our situations. When we are okay with that, we're becoming more like God. That is my opinion. Which, I don't know, to me was pretty eye-opening and very helpful on my journey to becoming a kind of person who can accept, other people liking me. I don't know, like, it's hard. Maybe you relate, or maybe you don't. Um, but the point is that when we become okay with other people taking us seriously, it's actually important and good, and it's part of what makes us more like our creator. This is an important step on our life journey, our journey towards a more perfected state. We have to become okay with not being last. We have to be okay with sometimes being first. Okay, like in the 10 commandments, God, what is like the number one commandment? Like, no other gods before me. And if our job is to become more like God, um, and I don't want this to be like a blasphemous kind of situation, but hopefully, especially from like a Christian, context, we can agree that like we want to be more like God. We don't want to be like, you know, in an unhealthy way or something like that. But I think it can be appropriate to have that mindset shift where we are okay with being taken seriously, with being put first sometimes. Can we accept the service of others? Can we accept help from others? These are important things that we need to be working towards. It's part of our process of becoming more like our creator. Okay, that is what I wanted to say about that. Let's go ahead and I just want to do a little voluntary session on this. I'm not accessing anybody's energy field. And if you want to opt into that, then you can just keep watching. But just a super quick session on putting ourselves first. Let's pull up that resistance to putting ourselves first. And I'm already feeling it so shaky and like, but I can't put myself first. I just cannot put myself first. Ooh. We're just shaking up that energy that feels like I can never put myself first, releasing that. It can be safe to put yourself first. Let's tap in. It can be safe to put myself first. When I put myself first, I can do it in a way that doesn't leave other people suffering. Okay. I can put myself first and still prioritize the other important things and people in my life. I can have both. I can be important and I can recognize the importance in other people. We can have both. I can be put first and I can also serve other people and other people can serve me, and it can be this beautiful symbiotic situation. This can be easy and beautiful. I can put myself first. Other people can put myself first, and I can also put them first. And I release myself from being in the very back row. I release myself from sitting in the back row of my own life. Whew. Releasing that with a big deep breath. See if you can imagine yourself in the very back row of a very long car, and you're going to come back and get in the driver's seat because it's your life, and you are allowed to drive the car of your own life. Let's tap it in. I drive the car of my own life. I release myself from sitting in the back seat of other people's lives. I release myself from sitting in the back seat of my own life. I give myself permission to drive the car of my own life. Let's breathe that in. That looks good. Let's imagine ourselves growing roots into the center of the earth and out 5 miles in every direction. Breathe it in. Feeling so grounded and great. Okay, thank you guys for being here. My anger series is on sale for, I think, just today, and then the sale is over, so I'll put the link to that below. If you're dealing with anger, that is the thing that you want to work on and clear out for yourself. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.